Morning everyone, it's Tess from teachwithtess.com, soon to be, actually, maybe I'm going to stop saying that now. Here it's Teach with Tess, but actually as soon as I get myself organised, my new website will be brightsparksenglish.com, so I suppose I should be sort of putting that in there, but it's not live yet, so habits and all that. Anyway, I'm jumping in today at the end of a very frantic few days, I think I can safely say, to anyone who's watching who works with Wales and maybe some of the other companies who are sort of going, it's been the craziest 2 days I think I've had in a very long time. And I wanted to jump in today to talk to you about this and how to deal and juggle with parents who are putting huge amounts of pressure on you to say yes to teaching their child, possibly as in this weekend. Certainly I know I was asked to do that, and it's really, really tempting to say, yeah, sure, I'll sort, yeah, no problem, let's go. Because you're frightened of losing them, or you think they'll get another teacher, that sort of thing. So here's a little bit of advice, or these are my thoughts on it anyway. Just be very, very wary about jumping into this boiling pan of emotion and stress and anxiety and anger and this huge mix of emotions that is actually, we will find in these WeChat groups, which have got parents in there and which have got teachers in there. Now, we have huge amounts of parents who are really, I have had so many heartbreaking communications with parents saying how much money they've lost, how angry they are with Wales. I've heard that Wales is being investigated, but it's hearsay, so I can't put much more on it. Having said that, I did see, and I'm going to try and find it, a short clip from Chinese news, which clearly showed Wales English and their empty offices and an absolutely furious parent, because the parents feel completely conned. So their emotions are, I mean, I've mentioned that, so I won't go into detail. We've talked about that. They've been lied to and told that they were going to be able to finish classes that they'd bought, and they clearly can't. And the offering that is apparently coming to their way is nowhere near the same. So they're really, really upset. And then you've got us, teachers, and we're there going, my God, I've just lost my job. Yes, maybe I was succession planning, but I thought I was going to have a month to do it also. And now I have a day. I have no days. I have to do it now. But you don't. And this is what I want to say to you. You do not have to do it now. You do not have to say yes to parents who are pressuring you to say, yes, please take my little Johnny and teach him tomorrow. Because you've got to make sure that you've got all your systems in place before you do this. And I cannot emphasize that enough, because you know, I've already had experience of running a small school, and even I'm going, whoa, because I've never had to work with China. There are lots of teachers out there maybe watching this who do know a lot more than me. So if they're sort of putting out information, I'll definitely go and listen to them too. But from the work that I have done, you need to make sure that you have an agreement or some form of, I'm hesitant to say contract, because what would that be worth realistically? But it's so important that you clearly state what the consequences are for cancellations, if there's sickness, when the payment is due, how it's going to be paid. It's almost like an FAQ, but something that the parent can read and potentially sign electronically. I don't know, but you need to have something so that both parties are very, very clear on how it will work. The other thing I want to say on this regard is, right now, everyone's very friendly and communicative, and everything's like saying, yes, we'll help. Yes, of course. But what happens if things go wrong going down the line? And I'm just slightly worried that there are lots of teachers who haven't really got any experience running their own business or being an independent teacher, because it is quite scary in certain ways. And they're just jumping into things without actually stopping to think. And you know, if you've seen other videos, I'm a big believer in going, stop, take a breath, step back. And I think this is a really, really important time to do it, because guess what? If those parents of yours really like you and really want to learn with you, they will wait because they're probably in exactly the same headspin as we are. So it's not actually a bad idea to say to them, I'm just sorting everything out my end. I've had no time to do this because we weren't told it was going to happen. I need to get a website or something, from my point of view, I do, ready, because I want to embed a payment option into it, because payment is a massive issue, because I've been trying out PayPal, horrendously expensive, but how do we get that done? And I want to make sure I choose the right option. I'm also thinking about, which platform to use, and I'm looking forward as far as that's concerned, because yes, there are things out there, but how long are they going to be open in China? How long are they going to be accessible for? What happens if the Chinese government cuts down and, even more? So I'm trying to protect myself financially. I don't want to spend huge amounts of money on things that may actually not last very long. What are all the things that I'm going to teach? Because I've seen lots and lots of teachers saying, oh, the parents have asked to do the Reach Higher curriculum, and they think they're going to just use the Wales English slides, and where can I get them now? I think to a degree that, you can use them and doctor them or tweak them. You can't, I wouldn't recommend just blanketly using them because of the copyright issues. I know I've mentioned that. Some people may or may not agree with me, but I'd be a bit worried about it. And then, and it's also a question of training the parents, because yes, you do have Reach, you do have Oxford Tree, you do have the phonics stuff, you do have Wonders, etc., which is what they tend to ask for because that's what they know and it's very common in curriculum. But we as teachers also have to know that we know what we're talking about too, and we can go and find alternatives that they may not have seen before. And there are some great options out there, and I think it's really important for us to do our research properly before just jumping in, probably with a blindfold on and starting teaching, and then it could go horribly wrong, and then you end up with upset parents who may or you overly stressed because things aren't working properly. So this is why I'm jumping in. It's a morning thing. I get up early, I get up too early, chat to various teachers and learn things and find out things and think I've really got to share this with you, because I think you really need to prepare the ground, know what you're going to use. So for me personally, I think I'm going to use Voov as a platform. I've downloaded it, it seems to work. I'm asking parents to make sure it does. It's a Tencent. They're the same people who make or own WeChat. So it's a Chinese piece of software, so hopefully it'll carry on working. It's free. You can screen share, you can use annotation. It's almost the same as Zoom. I'm hoping that the kids can also annotate like they can in Zoom with a screen share. So I'm still researching that. But the most important thing is to have everything in place as much as you can. So I've told my parents personally, I said, yes, next week sometime. And even that might be optimistic, but the end of next week. So today we're the 21st of August, so I'm hoping by the end of next week I'll be able to deliver classes. And also don't forget that there will probably and sadly be teachers who have jumped into this thinking yes I can do it, but then actually just find the whole thing so overwhelming and complicated, or they don't feel they have the wherewithal to gather together everything they need, and for whatever reason they choose not to pursue it. They choose to go down something else or go to another company that has curriculum and everything up there running, because they don't, like we did with Wales, come down, teach the class, we go away again. But having your own students there's a lot more work. So I have a feeling that there will be quite a few teachers who also decide to pull out of this whole situation, which will mean that there will be a lot of parents looking for teachers, and it will probably balance out. So there'll be less teachers, and the parents staying will be looking for teachers. So you should, even though you're waiting and you're worried about losing people, I wouldn't worry too much. I think it'll all be fine. It'll all be fine. Positive thinking, that's me. Anyway, I'm gonna have my coffee. It's getting cold. I have a street party today in our street that I've organised. And guess what? It's England. It's hammering with rain. And on that merry note, I'll see you soon. Bye.